I'm watching the real estate industry in Ontario right now, and it feels like 2021 all over again. The same high-pressure tactics, the same fake FOMO, and the same buy now or you'll be priced out forever nonsense. Only this time, they aren't using the 1% interest rate to trap you. They're using the $130,000 HST rebate. I'm seeing agents running around social media acting like the government just handed everyone a bag of cash. They're telling you to rush in before the rebate is gone, while completely ignoring the fact that the builders are already jacking up prices and the new 1.5 million mortgage rules are just a one-way ticket to more debt. And again, just to be clear, I'm not saying this happens in every single case. There are good builders and honest agents out there, but I'm seeing this pattern happen enough that if you're a buyer, you need to be aware of it before you make a decision. I'm Sandy Takar with Remax Realty Specialists, and today I'm going to show you how the COVID 2.0 playbook is being used to trap you in an overpriced new build. And the $130,000 rebate is the bait in the trap. In this video, I'm going to show you the math that the builders don't want you to see. I'm going to explain why this incentive is actually a $2 billion bailout for developers. Why thousands of you are legally being robbed because of a one-day difference in your contract. All right, before we talk about the entire rebate, we're going to talk about who is eligible. You can qualify if all of these are true. You signed the agreement of purchase and sale with the builder between April 1st, 2026 and March 31st, 2027. Exactly 1 year only. The home is newly built or substantially renovated in some cases from a builder. This includes detached houses, semi-townhouses, or condo units. The home will be used as your primary residence where you actually live, or as a long-term residential rental property. You meet the standard rules of existing HST housing rebate or new residential rental property rebate. This generally means that the buyer must have genuine intent to occupy or rent it long-term. It is open to all buyers, not just first-time buyers. This is a big change from the previous rules. It applies to both individuals and some investors buying for rental. Again, CRA can audit later. They look at things like utility bills, address history, or social media. If you flip it or rent short-term right away, you could lose the entire rebate and owe money back plus interest. Let me explain how they calculate this rebate so it makes total sense. The normal HST on a new home in Ontario is 13%, 5% federal GST, and 8% provincial. The new program basically says we're going to give you back some or all of the 13% HST, but with limits. Here's the simple way it works. For homes up to $1 million, you get back the full 13% HST that would have been charged on that price. Example, on a $500,000 home, 13% of 500 is $65,000, so you only get $65,000 rebate back. So the cheaper the home, the less you save because there's simply less tax to get back. Again, for homes between $1 million and $1.5 million, they put a cap at $130,000. Even though a $1.4 million would normally have way more HST than $130K, the government says the maximum you can get back is $130,000. For homes above $1.5 million, the rebate starts shrinking. It tapers down. By the time it hits $1.85 million, you only get the old small amount of $24,000. So remember, the $130,000 you hear about is the ceiling, the biggest possible savings. It's not a flat check for every buyer. The actual amount depends on how much HST is on your specific home price. So always ask the builder, show me the exact pre-tax price and exactly how much HST rebate I'm getting on the house. That's one question that will stop a lot of confusion. Now let's talk about something that most people completely miss, the actual dates that control this entire $130K rebate. Here's the hidden truth that almost no realtor or builder is really shouting about, is why this rebate feels more like a ticking time bomb than free money. First, it's only temporary. This isn't forever. The big full 13% HST savings only kicks in if you sign your purchase agreement between April 1st, 2026 and March 31st, 2027. That's exactly 1 year. Sign even 1 day later and you lose the big rebate and you're stuck with the old small one, around $24,000 max. No extensions have been announced. Number two, It's not even 100% locked in yet. Ontario is covering their part, but the full 13%, including the federal GST, still needs the federal government to pass laws and make it official. As of right now, April 2026, those final changes aren't fully done, and the CRA hasn't even released the exact forms yet. So imagine this. You sign in the window, wait 2-3 years of your house to finish, and if Ottawa doesn't follow through exactly as promised, the extra money you were counting on could shrink or even disappear. Third, these construction deadlines are super strict. Even if you get the signing date right, your new home has to meet these rules or you lose a big rebate. For a regular new home you're going to live in, the construction has to start by December 31st, 2028 and be mostly finished by December 31st, 2031. For rental properties, or if you're building it yourself, the rules are even tighter. Some finish as early as end of 2029. And just to keep another thing in mind, it's not when you sign the APS is when the construction starts. The construction actually starts when they put boots on the ground to your house. Okay, let's talk about the part that causes the most confusion for everyone. How the builder actually structures the deal. This is where 90% of the buyers and even a lot of realtors just get it wrong. It sounds boring, but trust me, this one thing can quietly cost you tens of thousands of dollars without you even realizing it. So let me explain it in just plain English. First, the old way. The old way most builders have always done it. For years, builders put a line in the contract that says, you assign your HST rebate to us. That means the builder takes your rebate, claims it from the government, and gives you the savings right at closing. You don't pay the full 13% HST upfront. The price you see in the agreement is usually the net price after the old $24,000 rebate is already taken off. It feels clean and easy. Now here's what's happening with the new $130,000 rebate. A lot of builders are changing how they structure the deal because this bigger rebate is brand new and not fully locked in by law yet. So let's do scenario. Scenario one is that some builders are quietly raising the gross price. They take that same house that was listed at, let's say, $1.3 million last month, and now they bump up the base price to $1.45 million or more. Then they say, hey, look, after the $130K rebate, you only pay $1.32 million. It looks like you're still saving money, but really the builder just pocketed more. The builder just pocketed most of the government's gift as extra profit. Always ask for the gross price before any rebate. Compare that number across builders. That's the real test. Scenario 2, how they write the contract now. Some builders are still doing the net of HST price in the agreement. You only pay the lower amount at closing and they assign the rebate. But others, especially right now, while the law isn't 100% final, are writing the agreement for the full gross price. That means you have to come up with the full price plus the full 13% HST at closing. And then you have to apply to the CRA yourself later to get the $130K back. It shifts all the risk onto you. If something goes wrong with your qualification or the government delays the final rules, you're stuck paying extra. Scenario 3, old contracts versus new contracts. If you signed before April 2026, your contract probably only mentions the old 24K rebate. Even if you close after April 1st, the builder might say, sorry, our contract only covers the old amount. You could end up fighting to get the extra savings, or you might only get the difference. Some buyers are already asking their lawyers to add an amendment to capture the new bigger rebate. Scenario 4, so who's really on the hook? In almost every case, the contract says if you don't qualify for the rebate for any reason, you have to pay the difference at closing or later. So let's say if the CRA audits you and later says, nope, guess who owes the money? You do. The bottom line is the builder is not your buddy here. They're running a business. Some are being fair and passing on the full savings. Others are using this rebate to make their margins fatter while making the after rebate price look amazing. What you should do right now, ask the sales centers what is the gross price before any rebate. Ask, is the rebate being assigned to you or do I have to claim it myself after closing? Ask, does your contract automatically include the 130K rebate, or do we need to add an amendment? Get a real estate lawyer to read every line before you sign anything. If you're sitting in a sales center right now or about to sign, pause and ask those questions. It could save you a fortune. Again, this is where a lot of people in COVID really messed up. They went to the builder, signed the deals without reading the agreement of purchase and sale. Even the realtors didn't know what was written in the agreement and purchase and sale. So make sure if you're buying a new house today, you're reading the entire agreement of purchase and sale, or get it read from a professional lawyer so you fully understand what's written in the agreement of purchase and sale and what kind of risks you carry from the builder. Remember 2021, when agents were telling you to waive inspections and bid $200,000 over asking because rates stay low forever. Well, look at your feed today. It's the same thing. Hurry, the 130K rebate is only for 1 year. Don't wait for prices to go up. But here's what they aren't telling you. When everyone rushes at once, prices go up. If you save 130K on taxes but pay 150K more for the house because of a bidding war that your agent pushed you into, who actually won? Not you, the builder won. And your agent just got a bigger commission. It's the same trap, just a different bait. Let's look at the math in a place like Brampton or Mississauga. For example, let's say builders are pricing new homes at 1.1 to 1.2 million. They tell you, hey, you get 130K back, so your net price is around 1 million. But let's say if you look at 3 streets over at a resale home that's 5 years old, better built, with a finished basement, landscaped, and it's selling for, let's say, anywhere from 800 to 900,000. Even with your 130K rebate, you're still paying 120,000 more for the new build than the resale home. And that's before you spend another 20 or so on closing costs and another 20 to 30K on appliances, furniture, fence, and etc. Especially considering that new builds are built with poor quality these days. So the 130K rebate isn't a discount. You aren't saving the money. You're just paying for the new car smell at a massive markup. We all saw this happening during COVID. People signed at the peak, and by the time they closed, the house was worth 200K less than they paid. The 130K rebate, it could get wiped out in a single market correction. With resale, you know exactly what you're getting into, what it's worth today. The resale market is where the inventory is. It's where the negotiation power is. You can actually get an inspection. You can see the neighborhood. You aren't buying a rendering. You're buying a home. When you buy resale, you move in 60 days. You start building equity right away. When you buy a new build for that 130K rebate, you're often waiting anywhere from 2, 3, or even 4 years to be finished. Think about it. What can happen in 3 years, especially in the times we live now? The world economics is not looking so great. Interest rates can change, your job can change, the market can drop, and here's the kicker. If the market drops by 10% while you're waiting, you're still legally obligated to close at the high price from 2026. Instead of chasing the 130K rebate on an overpriced $1.2 million build, look for a stale resale listing. Find a house that's been on the market for 30, 60, or even 100 days. Negotiate 100K off the price. You'll end up with a house that's 250K cheaper than the new build. You'll move in tomorrow and your mortgage will be smaller. That is real affordability. This is how you win in this market. Don't let the shiny 130K check distract you from the actual price of the house. To make this trap even more effective, the government raised the insured mortgage cap to $1.5 million and brought back 30-year amortizations. They're telling you, look, your monthly payment is lower. Yeah, it's lower. You're paying it for 5 extra years. Do you know how much extra interest that is on the $1.2 million mortgage? It's thousands of dollars. They aren't making housing affordable. They're just making the debt serviceable so you can stay in debt for longer. They want you to buy the builder's overpriced inventory. You use the rebate to feel better about it and then pay the bank interest until you're 70, 80 years old. That's the COVID 2.0 plan. It's a trap designed to keep the housing bubble from popping, and you're the one who's going to pay for it. So, what's the verdict? Is the $130,000 rebate a trap? In my opinion, yes. It's a calculated move to bail out developers, keep banks collecting interest on 1.5 million mortgages and give realtors a reason to pressure you into a sale. If you're buying because you think you're winning 130K, you're the sucker at the table. My advice, don't chase the rebate. Don't listen to agents who are acting like it's 2021 again. If the house isn't worth the price without the government's help, it's definitely not worth it with it. I'm Sandy Picard with Remax Realty Specialists. I'm the agent who's going to tell you this because my job isn't to sell you a house, it's to make sure you don't get screwed. And just to be fair, not every builder or agent is playing this game. There are some great builders out there who take pride in what they build. And there are agents who genuinely put their clients first and give honest advice. The problem isn't the entire industry, it's the pressure, the hype, and the way this rebate is being marketed to create urgency. So don't take this as everyone is bad. Take it as a reminder to slow down, ask questions, make sure the numbers actually make sense for you. And last but not least, if you're tired of the housing lives and the industry hype, I just want you to hit the subscribe button below. Let's keep the conversation honest, and I'll see you in the next one.